So first of all, over here we have a huge box, which I just came from Texas. I unpacked it. Took me an hour to unpack it. And I'll show you what that is, and I'll show you how it was packed recently. But there's the box it was in, and what was in it is only that wide. So yeah, it was very well packed. The guy from Texas, I can't remember what his eBay page is, but he has a bunch of display cabinets and stuff, and locomotives and stuff that I'll probably be buying a bunch of stuff from him, because it was annoying to unpack, but it was well protected. So there we have our gondolas, as those stacks over there. Then we have our covered hoppers here. We have our open hoppers here. And then here we have our flat cars and our coil cars. Those were on top of that box. That box is full of cars that don't fit the era of this layout, which is where I'm putting those. I have a second box in the room, in my bedroom. And then, of course, we have here is all our box cars. And then there is one stack of open hoppers right there. But everything else in this is box cars. And then we have up there empty locomotive boxes, except for the RS3. That box has a locomotive in, and so do those two Athearn blue box ones. Those have a locomotive in, but everything else there is empty. Now, why that is, we'll get to that later. But we have our Finger Lakes Northern MP15 DC that I got from Alex Brockway that I haven't patched yet. We have our GP39-2, our GP18, which I need to patch, our GP38-2, GP50, the -8-40B for Susquehanna, the Norfolk and Western GP38AC, the GP40-2LW that was from Mike, from Trackside Mike, the Boston and Maine U33B, our 060, the New York Central GP9 that I just got, the Grand Trunk Western GP38-2, and of course the RS3. And down here we have the SD80 Mac that I haven't done anything with yet. Now, the layout, we have some cars from Train Freak Hobbies and from other places, including that Tangent boxcar. And here we have our empty box over here. This is from the -8-40BW, that it's downstairs. I have empty boxes here and full ones. This still has the SD40 in it. The SD50F is there. 3 SD39s. 2 SD45s are in their boxes. The M630 is down there in its box. So is the CP SD40-2. The 2 SW1200s that I've got to repaint in the Rochester and Southern 107 and 108, and then the Conrail SD60 down there. The SD75i is in its box, and so is the NS SD70. Then we have the layout over here, and we have the spur for Embury Lantern, which is to here, and then New York Concrete Pipe is represented by the Scale Trains box. I think that was something Sparky sent me. And cars there are normally spotted right about where that black ends. Then we have our switch, we have our backdrop, which I installed. It's actually just sitting there. I don't have the clamps on it right now. We have our spur for the Myron Colton organ. Then we have our spur for Montgomery Coal, and then here's our kit for the Golden Flame Fuel Company, which is going to be Montgomery Coal, and our old-time coal conveyors. Wacka Creek right here. I haven't cut that out yet. I don't have the tools to cut it out right now. Our switch, and then we have Allen Street. Here's our Buick. Put that on the road in its box. The Mini. True Color paints for the -8 downstairs. Then we have our oil spot for the elevator factory for oil coming into the boiler house. Then we have the coal spot for the boiler house, and then back there we have the coke pit for the foundry, and you can see what's new in the background there. I cleaned this up quite a bit. It had a whole bunch of junk on it, and then we have down there is the freight depot. But the main thing that really changed in this year is this. I bought this and got this from Texas, and I spent 2 hours filling it with locomotives. It's got 23 locomotives in it. I have over 40. So I could easily use another one, but I'm not buying another one right now. Here we have on the top shelf, we have Finger Lakes Northern Power. We have our GP97503, a leased GP38-2 from HLCX, the MP15DC, which needs to have sound put in it, and Also needs to be patched into a 1500 series for Finger Lakes Northern. We have the SD35 that's going to get a full repaint into Finger Lakes Northern green and blue. 2500 series, and then we have the Cotton Belt SD45T-2 and the Elgin Joliet and Eastern SD38-2 in bicentennial paint. And then we have the Atherton 75th anniversary, Finger Lakes Northern 1946, and then we have Southern Pacific or Finger Lakes Northern 7342, and then we have the Erie Lackawanna Heritage Unit 3632, which fits right in with the FLN number series. And we have, of course, Norfolk Southern GP50 number 7054, GP40-2LW 9626, and then we have the Grand Trunk GP38-2. Then we have our Buffalo and Pittsburgh 926, which is yet to be switched over to that. I have to take off the N&W on both sides and put on BMP, and I also got to weather it, but I could not. I tried asking people how to weather it properly, and I couldn't. Dan's Custom Trains Facebook group wouldn't. The administrator didn't approve the post, so I couldn't get any information that way. I asked a couple other people, no one would answer me, so I'm not sure when that's going to get done. Then we have our Susquehanna here. We have the GP40, the Dash 8, the SD40T-2, and the SD40-2, and then we have a couple cabooses, the 50th anniversary of Operation Lifesaver, Operation Lifesaver 50th anniversary in the Baltimore, Ohio caboose. And then we have our D&H Power. We have the D&H GP39-2, the U33B, and then a Norfolk and Western GP38 AC, which was used when D&H was being controlled by the N&W. And then we have our B&O Power over here, the GP30, the SD9, and the 060. So I still have I have 23 locomotives in here and 14 that are in boxes that aren't here, and then I have more that aren't in the area. So now we'll cut and I'll show you what it was like to unpack that, how that was packed. Okay, so this is the beginning of the layout of the 2026 layout tour, beginning of 2026 layout tour. You can see I have something behind me. I just bought this. I was waiting to do this tour until I got this from Texas. I want to show you something. This guy really packed this. I mean, I'll put the pictures in here. I'm not showing unpacking it because this is taking me an hour to unpack so far. First, we have the box over here. There's all the tape on the floor that I've taken off the bubble wrap. Here's the box. All those peanuts are in the box and paper. And then he had it wrapped in bubble wrap, which I've taken off, and that's all the bubble wrap here, and I've taken off the last pieces here. But look at this. Not only a cardboard across the plexiglass, but he actually filled the cabinet itself with peanuts. So yeah, it made the trip perfectly safe. This cost me $270, including $70 shipping and such. But beautiful cabinet, nicely varnished. It's going right there. But I had to stop unpacking it and show you that it's full of peanuts. Sparky, want some peanuts? All right, it's almost February 2026, so I am all dressed up to go out because I got to go to Walmart and get cat food and get some other stuff. And so, yeah, 2026 is looking good so far. I'm gonna do a quick layout tour, and then we'll get to talk more about some things. So here we go. That was packed really securely. Now there's some cars here that are supposed to go in that, but I haven't gotten another drawer cleaned. And you can see there's 4 cars down there that need to go in it as well. Now there's a box of peanuts. Those peanuts are just the ones that were inside that display cabinet. I filled that box, overfilled it. Now, I was out of breath. Now, after I did the layout update for January, that was a day I uploaded it. I had to go to my brother's and get the body control module for my car, and he had these to give to me. Nothing that I would use. I think that's brass track. You got some, what looks like some brass track in here, and probably some steel track that feels like it's steel track. So, of course, nothing that can really be used unless you set it up separate from itself. But we have, I'm not sure what that was. Gender body to something. That's like a trestle or something. That's a pipe from the pipe loader. Some of the stuff is broken. Like that's broken, I think. That's just taken apart, it's not broken. That's for raising up a track. Approaches for a bridge or something like that. Ow! What the heck did I just scratch myself on? We got a cross re-railer, curved re-railer, terminal with the terminal thing on it. In that box, this is actually full of scenery material. Reach in here, if I can get in here. It's full of old scenery material. I think that's moss that's been sprayed. Looks like it. So we got that box, and then this box is rolling stock and locomotives. Again, AHM in Yugoslavia. This one I think is a lifelike. Yep, there's a lifelike chassis system. Not really lifelike. And then there's an AHM Fairbanks Morse locomotive. Yes. Signal tower. And some other pieces in here. An AHM grader load. Mark, My Life's Tracks. If you want any of this stuff for your collection, there's something specific, something rare in here that you would like, you can have it. I think. I don't know. You might be able to talk me out of it. It was free for me. He gave it to me. Somebody's attic. So if there's something in here that brings back memories of your childhood that you would really, really like to have, yeah, you can have it for free. You don't need to give me any money for it. Got soldiers in here. What's this? Figurines. What are they? Hold on. Package of construction workers. Now those are definitely useful. Package of construction workers, wheelbarrowmen, all sorts of stuff. And those are useful. There's a AHM trailer with 2 cargo boxes. Oscar Mayer. I think I'd keep that one. That's cool. I don't know. We also have a book in here. The Road to Paradise. Story of the Rebirth of the Strasburg Railroad. That I'm definitely holding on to. But yeah. DuPont. Yeah, so that's what I got for my brother for free. So that's the layout tour video. My new display case. I'll of course be getting another one because that one's basically full now. The when I get the New York Susquehanna Western RS1, that's going to go on the Susquehanna shelf, and then those cabooses are going to have to go someplace else. But, yep, that's what the layout looks like as of now. Now, a major thing that I've got to tell people is that I mentioned in the update that it was going to be spring when the barn was redone. Well, it was Tuesday after our snowstorm that I was sitting at home. I had just been woken up in the morning. It was like 10:30 in the morning, something like that. And I get a call. I answer the phone. It's the receptionist from Woodford Brothers, or Woodford Barn Repair. And so they received your check, which I knew they had. I'd seen on my bank that they had cashed it like a week prior. And she said, we're scheduling you in for February 16th. Weather contingent. Now, that might get changed because we have 14 inches of snowpack, 7.5 new snow during the storm, which is pretty normal for New York, not really much of a storm. But we're supposed to get more snow this next weekend. And there was piles of snow all over the place. So I have to rent a Bobcat skid steer from Litzag Lumber, same place that I rented the lift when I tried to keep the barn from collapsing unsuccessfully last year, and use that to move snow around in my driveway in my yard so I can make room for them to do their work. I can get the Mini out of the middle of the driveway, put it over in the yard again. Either come along and get it over in the yard against a tree because it won't start. The battery's shot, and it's much easier to just come along up to the tow hook and pull it over there than it is to drag an extension cord out, put it on a battery charger, and charge it, or get jumper cables and find the battery in the Jetta and try to jump start it, especially in the cold. The Jetta doesn't even like to start in the cold. I'll start it and it'll run rough, and the lights will dim, and you'll go, yeah, I don't like the cold. So, yeah, that's what's going on. February 16th, weather contingent, the barn is going to be rebuilt with 2 brand new laminated beams for the ones that broke, and they'll put everything else together, get some wood to rebuild the main structure of the barn. Roof hopefully will go on then. However, with the amount of snow we've got, I don't know. So I had to spend $250 to rent a skid steer to have fun in my yard. There's some neighbors that have compact tractors with compact tractors with buckets on them, but I don't know them at all, so I can't exactly ask these strangers, but hey, can I borrow your tractor? I can't do that. So, one of the guys in the MRI said for the price of $240 to rent a skid steer for the day, you could have somebody plow your driveway for the year. Well, the problem with that is that the way snow has to be moved, the way the driveway is, the way the vehicles in the driveway, where it has to be moved, and around the pile of debris from the barn that's underneath some of the snow, you can't really plow it with a truck because you just don't have the maneuverability that a skid steer or a compact tractor would have. So it's just not going to work. So I've got to move all this snow, and then I'll probably have to move more snow, and I'll probably have to move more snow, so I'll wait until just before they come. Hopefully I can get the skid steer then and move things around. Otherwise I'm going to have to shovel it by hand, and that's just, yeah, no, I'm not doing that. Too much snow. My arms will be sore for the next 3 years. So, got to do that. But the barn is supposed to be rebuilt in February. In February, maybe might end up pushing that back to March if the weather is too bad. So, it's not likely going to be spring. It's likely going to be a lot sooner than that. So, good news on that front. So that's it for the layout tour and a extra little bit at the end. From CP Solar Springs, Milepost 368, then Southern Cemetery Line. Keep on the trains. Tim out.